The history between Cheryl Reeve and Kayla Clark has not been the best one in the Cheryl Reeve department. Kayla Clark made it her business to make Cheryl Reeve kick rocks.
I agree with Cheryl, I agree with the trade. I love Cheryl. She's my coach here. And you know what? That's just going to be worse for Team Clark because now we got more chemistry on our side.
Caitlin Clark's season has been anything but ordinary. From packed arenas to soaring jersey sales, she's managed to pull the WNBA into the national spotlight in a way few rookies ever have. But with that attention comes friction. And this latest All-Star team shakeup just added another layer to the growing tension between veterans, coaches, and the new wave of fans. And Sandy Brondello has finally spoken up. It all started with a decision that stunned fans across the league. Caitlin Clark, despite being a rookie, was granted co-captain duties for the 2024 WNBA All-Star Game alongside fellow rookie Angel Reese.
Yesterday was the WNBA All-Star Game draft, and Kayla Clark made history by becoming the first player in WNBA history to trade a coach.
The league, in a move aimed at capitalizing on its growing momentum and media buzz, gave the power of drafting teams to the top fan vote-getters. For the first time, fans weren't just watching, they were shaping the game. And with her massive online following and national media coverage, Clark surged to the top. But no one expected what she did next. When it came time to draft her team, Clark made a move that some saw as a power play. She left legendary coach CHERYL REEVE off her squad entirely. REEVE, who's helmed the Minnesota Lynx since 2010, earned multiple WNBA championships and coached the U.S. women's national team, was expected by most insiders to be a lock. She was supposed to lead one of the all-star squads. Instead, Clark picked New York Liberty head coach Sandy Brondello. And Brondello? She didn't shy away from the moment. Asked during a press conference what she thought about the unexpected twist, Brondello gave a diplomatic smile but didn't hold back. "It's a new era," she said. "Players are more involved than ever, and that's good for the game. If Caitlin wanted something different, someone different, that's her call. I'm honored to be part of it, but let's not kid ourselves. This is going to shake the room a little."
They announced it?
Yeah.
That you got traded?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta go look at all that.
Trade it. I have no idea what the teams are. Second time in history now.
Jeez, as a player.
Shake it did. Cheryl Reeve's omission sent waves through the league. Social media lit up within minutes of the draft. WNBA Twitter was ablaze with hot takes, half defending Clark's right to pick who she wanted, and half accusing her of snubbing a legend. ESPN analysts called it bold, while former players like Swin Cash described it as disrespectful but telling. Some even suggested Clark's move was more than personal. It was political.
He's going to take her coach, Sandy Brondello. Let's get it. It's going to be amazing. Sorry, WNBA, if that's not in the rule.
Whether or not that's true, the tension between old guard coaches like Reeve and young stars like Clark has been simmering all season. In several games earlier this year, Clark was visibly frustrated by hard fouls, missed calls, and what she described in interviews as a lack of protection. While she didn't name names, many fans interpreted her words as indirect shade toward Reeve, whose Lynx team had played Clark's fever, especially physically. It was rough basketball, old-school tactics, and Clark, despite her competitive fire, seemed to take note. So when she had the chance to draft not only players, but the very person leading her squad, it's no surprise she went with someone who's not only more player-friendly, but who has shown respect toward Clark publicly.
The history between Cheryl Reeve and Kayla Clark has not been the best one in the Cheryl Reeve department. Kayla Clark made it her business to make Cheryl Reeve kick rocks.
Brondello, throughout the season, had praised Clark's vision and impact on the league. When New York played Indiana, Brondello made headlines by telling reporters, "You don't stop Caitlin Clark, you try to slow her down. That kind of respect isn't just handed out, it's earned."
And Kayla Clark don't like the motion offense, bro. Hence why she traded her. Why she got rid of Cheryl Reeve.
And Clark remembered. Brondello's response, though calm and composed, seemed to hint at more than just respect for Clark. It was a subtle clapback to Reeve and others who may have underestimated how much the rookie class is reshaping the league. "This is Caitlin's moment," Brondello added. "She's not just playing ball, she's building something, and I want to help her build it." That comment, while innocuous on the surface, carried a lot of weight in WNBA circles.
I I don't know if this is in the rules. I don't really care. But I think we've already discussed we are going to trade coaches.
Many saw it as a clear statement. Brondello isn't just coaching this all-star team. She's aligning herself with the future of the league. And in doing so, she might be widening a generational gap that's been brewing for a while now. Back in the early 2010s, the WNBA was ruled by dominant veteran cores. Teams like the Minnesota Lynx under CHERYL REEVE set the gold standard for team basketball, toughness, and structure. REEVE, known for her fiery leadership and disciplined systems, helped craft one of the most successful dynasties in league history. But her style, relentless, detail-obsessed, and unafraid to criticize, hasn't always meshed with today's more player-empowered landscape. And Clark, she's the walking symbol of that shift. From her record-breaking days at Iowa to her instant headline-grabbing moments in Indiana, she hasn't waited for permission to make noise. She speaks candidly, plays fearlessly, and, most importantly, understands the power of narrative. She knows she's not just playing for points, she's playing for eyeballs, for visibility, for control of a league that's been aching for a new face. Choosing Brondello wasn't just about comfort. It was a message. The new faces aren't waiting for the torch to be passed. They're grabbing it themselves. And the impact of that move didn't just stay on social media. Reporters asked REEVE to comment on being left off the All-Star sidelines, and while she didn't directly mention Clark, her tone was icy. "I'm focused on the Lynx," she said curtly. "That's my priority." She didn't need to say more, but fans, pundits, and players filled in the blanks. Was this a petty grudge over rough games? Was Clark making a stand against a system she felt didn't have her back? Or was it just a calculated PR move to surround herself with those who publicly support her rise? Regardless of the answer, Sandy Brondello came out looking like the biggest winner. She embraced the opportunity with grace, praised Clark's leadership, and made it clear that while she respected the past, she was coaching for the future.
Heard of a coach being traded in the All-Star game. This is something you're agreeing to, Fee. There's no terms to this deal.
"This league is at a turning point," she said, "and it's going to take all of us, coaches, players, fans, to push it forward. I'm proud to be part of that." In that same interview, Brondello also addressed the idea that her appointment might have been controversial. "Every era of basketball has its friction points," she said. "That's how the game evolves. I've had to adjust my coaching over the years. I've coached legends, I've coached rookies, and I've learned that if you don't adapt, you get left behind."
I agree with CHERYL. I agree with the trade. I love CHERYL. She's my coach here. And you know what? That's just going to be worse for Team Clark because now we got more chemistry on our side.
That line struck a chord because in many ways, the WNBA is right at that crossroads now. The veterans who built the foundation, players and coaches alike, are watching a new, younger generation rise up not just in talent, but in influence. And some of them are feeling left out. But Brondello's message was clear. Inclusion means adapting. And if REEVE or anyone else felt pushed aside by Clark's choice, maybe it's time to reevaluate how power is shared in a league where stars now hold the pen to the story.
Sorry, ESPN, if that's not in the rules, but we just made it a rule. So, Sandy Brondello, come on over.
Whoa!
Let's get to it. You can coach Sabrina.
To fans watching this unfold, it was more than just an all-star coaching selection. It was a proxy war between two visions of the league, one rooted in tradition and discipline, the other in energy, change, and social momentum. Brondello didn't take sides directly, but by accepting the role and praising Clark so publicly, she drew her own line in the sand. Of course, there's still a game to be played, and if Brondello and Clark's team takes the win, the decision will be remembered as genius. If they lose, expect plenty of I told you so's from the REEVE camp, but maybe the score doesn't even matter that much. Because what this moment proves is that Caitlin Clark isn't just shaping the way the WNBA is played, she's reshaping how it's run. And Sandy Brondello is smart enough to know that being on the right side of that wave might just be the best seat in the house.
I get to coach with Sabrina. I'm on Caitlin Clark's in Indianapolis. I mean, what a great show. So we'll go out there and have some fun.
What happens next will be watched closely. Will Clark continue to take bold steps like this, even if they ruffle feathers? Will Brondello become her go-to coach in more high-stakes situations? And will REEVE, who's never been afraid of a challenge, respond in kind by doubling down on her team's identity?
Caitlin Clark giving the boot to none other than CHERYL REEVE. Now, Sandy Brondello opens up about this whole thing during a press conference.
One thing is for certain. The All-Star Game won't just be a showcase of talent. It'll be a statement. And every pass, every play call, every interaction on the sideline will be dissected not just as part of a basketball game, but as part of a league-wide power shift. And in the middle of it all, Sandy Brondello will be standing tall, clipboard in hand, coaching not just a team, but maybe the future of the WNBA itself.